Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Weekly for Saturday, December the 18th, 2021. A reminder, this is the last episode of Vegas Weekly during the 2021 calendar year. We will not be releasing a show next Saturday, which is Christmas Day. I want to wish you and your family a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and hope that it is a good one for you. We will continue with our normal Wednesday show madness, uninterrupted into the new year. Now, our January 1st show is going to be a special show, kind of a year-end, year-beginning summary of 2021, and you have a chance to be a part of it. You tuned into the live stream on Wednesday, as many of you did. Thank you. You heard me announce my Vegas Tips and Tricks contest. If you'd like to send in a clip of a minute or less sharing your favorite Vegas tip or trick, from the biggest sort of craziest thing to the tiniest little menu item at your favorite restaurant, feel free to do so. Let me know if you have any questions about how to get that video to me in the comments below, and I'll get back with you on that. But you can either use email. I'll put my email address on the bottom of the screen as we speak, jrswift@vegastiptricks.com. Or you can send it to me on Twitter or Facebook Messenger, any of those things if we are connected that way. But just let me know if you have any problems with that. So yeah, you can appear on the show or just your voice. And if you've got a YouTube channel, we'll promote it for you. And again, you have a chance. You're the lucky winner, and I'll just do this at random. I'm not going to pick out a favorite, but one person will win a $25 Amazon gift card. Hey, it's not a lot of money, but this time of year, we can all use a little extra in the fundage department. Speaking of the live stream, do want to appreciate everybody that tuned in on Wednesday. That was a good time. Had a lot of chat about Vegas in general, vlogging in particular. We're joined by my friend Ace, so thanks to Ace of Vegas for dropping by for a good 15, 20 minutes, I'd say, at least. And contributing to that conversation. Something I'd like to continue to do in the future, so maybe on the January live stream, we will also have a guest. It could even be you. So anyway, let me know if you're interested. We can make sure you get a link dropped in so you can join us. Those of you on the inside who already have had access to that link need not apply. You'll have it again. All right, we're going to cover a couple of big news stories this week, not in a lot of detail because we really don't have that kind of time. Once again, I'll go back to Ace of Vegas did a nice piece just this past week as well. I'm sure you've already checked out his channel. Does a nice piece on one of our two big news stories. I guess there's kind of a third that I'll throw in, but it's two stories in particular. Let's start with the one that's actually going to probably have a bigger impact on Vegas, at least in the short run, and that is the fact that in 2024, February of 2024, Las Vegas will be hosting the Super Bowl. Wow. Can you imagine that even 10 years ago, Las Vegas hosting a Super Bowl? Well, it's going to happen. Allegiant Stadium, February 2024. If you were planning a visit during that time period, I probably wouldn't. I figure it's probably going to be about as busy as Las Vegas has ever been, and Las Vegas has been at times very busy. Room rates will go through the ceiling, and I suspect it will be a logistical nightmare, but the city has survived worse or better, so we'll see how it goes. But a pretty big deal, and should be a great way for the city to showcase itself over basically a full week. The Super Bowl is kind of a week-long event. Okay. The second big news story, the one that Ace talked about, the one that's kind of a flutter all throughout the Vegas vlogging community and the Vegas enthusiast community, and that is the sale of the Mirage, or at least the operational part of the Mirage. The Mirage, like so many Las Vegas casinos, is not actually owned by the people who operate it. It's another one of these real estate trust banks. Yeah, it's all accounting. I don't understand that. It's all accounting. So just tell people that. But the operations are being acquired for a cool $1 billion by the Seminole tribe, which is best known as the operators of the Hard Rock casinos, which are in a number of different locales around the country. I know there's one down in the Tulsa area. There's at least one, maybe a couple of them down in Florida. I didn't hunt up to see exactly how many of them there were, but they are in general quite impressive, and they really play up the sort of original hard rock cafe theme with the giant guitar and everything. And upon acquiring the property, they announced they would be building a guitar-shaped hotel tower. Now, that should be something to be seen. Now, the main Mirage Hotel Tower will remain, but one thing that may not remain, or there is no plans for it to remain, is the iconic Mirage volcano that has been spewing imaginary lava for now over 30 years. So we will see how that ends up. That has evoked a good deal of protest around the intertubes, and but the Mirage has been sold, and again, that process will probably take a good 9 months or more to complete, for all the I's to get crossed and the T's to get dotted, or the other way around. I think it's the other way around. They did retain the right to use the Mirage Hotel name over the course of the next 3 years. So these changes are going to take place slowly over time, not immediately, but certainly a giant guitar-shaped hotel tower in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip will be something to be seen. And it continues the invasion of these native tribes into Las Vegas. Of course, the San Manuel tribe recently purchased the Palms, which has remained closed since the pandemic, now almost 2 years ago, but they did announce plans, nothing specific, to reopen the property in the year to come. So we'll look forward to seeing the Palms, one of our favorite properties. All right, it's now time to wrap up our Las Vegas Strip Walk. And there's a lot of ground to cover today, so we're going to do it very succinctly and try to get you just what you need to know coming up next. Okay, time to wrap up our Strip Walk segment. It's been kind of a fun thing. Maybe we'll slice and dice them all together. Probably not. Okay, so when we last left our hero, he was departing the Miracle Mile shops. He made his way to the pedestrian walkway that took him over Harmon and back down to Las Vegas Boulevard at the street level. This is one of the few parts of Las Vegas Boulevard that is a lot like the whole strip used to be. There's a lot of sort of sketchy little shops and places selling cheap t-shirts or tours of the Grand Canyon, or cheap water. It's just a lot of those little storefronts. You see more of them on the north end of the strip at this point, but that whole area leads into a more sort of officially designated area called the Hawaiian Marketplace, which to me is probably, at least at night anyway, probably the seediest part of the strip that any tourist is likely to wander through. Yeah, there's some bars and restaurants and stuff along the way. Usually it's a pretty lively place. There's music going on. There's probably smoke in the air, hint, hint, that sort of thing. So it's not, to me, the most exciting place to be. Once you pass that, you enter a whole kind of almost like a mall area, kind of an outdoor mall or shopping center area. There's a whole bunch of fast food places. You've got a Walgreens. You even got a little tiny Target store. There's a T-Mobile store if you want to buy a phone. There's a bunch of, again, fast food restaurants as you walk along here. There's an Olive Garden now, I think. So a Hard Rock Cafe that exists at this point in Las Vegas is there. But you probably, unless you need something to eat or want to buy something that's available, you don't probably care. You're going to move on to the last sort of big MGM property, which is of course the Mgm Grand. Now, while there is kind of a secret side entrance, if you walk down an alleyway to your left, that is kind of a way to get into the west wing part of the property. We're going to enter right on Las Vegas Boulevard, at the street level. And once we get inside MGM Grand, we're going to have a couple of different choices here. If we just kind of want to casually walk through the property, check out the casino, get a feel for the place, maybe check out the sort of iconic registration area, we can do that very simply and quickly. We're going to stay to our right. Now, as we enter, there's a whole bunch of sort of major attractions from MGM, including a virtual reality place, Level Up, I think is what it's called. There is the Hakkasan nightclub. There's the Centrifuge Bar. The sports book is in that area. The buffet is in that area. So there's a lot of stuff right there before you get into the main casino proper. One of the largest casinos in the world, well, not surprisingly, as this is one of the largest hotels in the world. It opened as the largest hotel in the world. Right now, you know, how you define that's a little bit shaky, but generally considered to be number 3, number 2 in Las Vegas. So if you do stay to your right, you'll walk through the casino area and you'll eventually reach the registration area. One of the largest hotel registration areas you'll see anywhere, maybe the largest. There's sort of an iconic central area with a MGM lion in it. If that's enough MGM for you, you can make your way out through the valet entrance to Tropicana. If you'd like to see a little bit more of the MGM, and there's a lot more to see, you may want to stay more to your left and veer around the property. Again, eventually you'll make your way into the casino proper. Past that, you'll enter a whole area of bars and restaurants. In fact, you'll start to walk down a long hallway known as the District, where there are a number of restaurants from, you know, major chefs along the way. I always remember that Emeril Lagasse had his first place right here. But there, you know, you've got your steakhouses and all of your varieties of eateries. So if you're coming to MGM Grand with the idea of getting something to eat, this may be the place to go. Also, most of the attractions outside of the shows at MGM Grand are going to be down that long hallway. You'll access the MGM Grand Garden Arena that way. They don't use that as much anymore, but it is a large arena, you know, and so it is occasionally used for concerts or sporting events. As you continue all the way down to the end of that hallway, you'll access the MGM Grand pool area. You'll be able to take another long walkway to the end of the monorail. So if you, from this point, you want to make your way back north up the strip quickly, you can do that. You also have access to the Mgm Signature Towers here. Those 3 identical, more or less kind of residential looking towers that are set almost all the way back to Harmon. But you can access them, and they can access the casino at MGM Grand without the circuitous route all the way back and around to the strip. There is also access there to the big Top Golf facility, which is a very popular attraction there as well. So once you're done with whatever you're doing there, you'll make your way back down that hallway, stay to the left, veer back around, and you'll end up in the lobby area again. A good place to exit. You can get, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies to the MGM Grand, some of which you can access from that area. There's kind of a downstairs, which I think is how you get an Uber, but we're walking, so we don't care. And we're going to go ahead and from here make our way out to Tropicana Boulevard. We're going to veer just a little bit to the right where we're going to cross Tropicana. Okay, so once we cross Tropicana, there's a light there and everything. We've got a couple options. You could continue to the left and go visit Oyo, which before had been Hooters, and before that San Remo, and I think it was even something before that that slips my mind. Or you could take a right and you could head over to the venerable ancient Tropicana, which may or may not be there for long. There are rumors. There's not a whole lot to see there, to be honest with you. Someone asked me the other day if I remembered the last time I was in the Tropicana, and I couldn't. You can enter on that far side, which is what I'd recommend. And basically, there's really nothing to navigating the property. You just walk through the casino. The place has always lacked, it seems like, attractions. They used to have the old Folies Bergère show, and I'm guessing there's some kind of a show there now. I don't know. There's a theater, there's a lounge, there's a couple of bars. There's also never really been a lot of restaurants there. But you want to walk through the casino. It's a nice enough area. You just continue along, and eventually you'll go up towards the main entrance there by Excalibur. And unless there's something you found to do there, you're pretty much done with your strip walk. You can continue south on Las Vegas Boulevard, but there's really not much there. There's the site of the October 1st shootings, which I don't know if there's any markings to that effect. If you walk all the way down the strip, you'll get back to where we started at the Las Vegas sign, but we're not going to do that today. Anyway, I hope our Las Vegas strip walk has been somewhat helpful to you in terms of navigating and getting around. So that's going to wrap up today's show. Thanks for joining us here on Vegas Weekly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. Until then, I hope you have a great, lucky, and healthy year. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.